All right, welcome you guys. So Jen is also coming, but she's gonna be like 5 minutes late or a couple minutes late. So we're gonna get started. Um, I'm just gonna have Brittany and Cassandra introduce themselves. Maybe tell us how long have you been actively coaching, and maybe if you were a customer before that, and then what other occupation or thing do you do as well? And maybe I'll just quick say for people watching the recording, when Jen gets on, because she'll miss this part, Jen is a Title I teacher. She loves fitness, and she just hit her year coach anniversary mark like last week. This past winter, she hit diamond, and um, yeah. So let's let Brittany. Do you want to start and share? Introduce yourself.
Sure.
Perfect.
Yeah. So my name is Brittany Mead. I have been coaching since March of 2019. Um, I think Candace says it like you're a unicorn sign up, something like that, where you're the one reaching out to a coach and saying, I want to be a coach, sign me up. That was me. I was really interested in Beachbody. I had quite a few friends that were into it, but I didn't want to choose between the people I knew that were coaching. And so I just went to a random lady that I had connected with on social media. And I honestly hadn't seen a whole lot of her coaching story. I had just seen like bits and pieces, and I really didn't know what I was doing. So I just reached out to her and said, sign me up. I want the discounts. I want to coach. I was a college student at the time, so I wanted to find a routine that was good for me and something that helped me move my body and just make nutrition a focus, because that was definitely not on my mind as a college student. And so I signed up, coached for a while, and um, I just didn't have a whole lot of, I don't want to say support, but I didn't have a lot of resources that I felt like I was lacking. And I know they say that your upline doesn't determine your success. Like you're the one who needs to, go after it. And I just felt like the connection was kind of missing. And so that's when I reached out to my current coach, Valerie, and I saw that she had been coaching. We connected through FFA. I went to college to be an ag teacher. So I'm a high school ag teacher, and we connected through FFA, and she kind of helped me get set up and transferred over to this team. And I honestly think it was probably one of the best choices I've ever made because of just the connections that I've made. And I do feel like there's been so many more resources, and my business kind of took off more when I saw the people that were on this team, and just the groups that I've been in. It's been very, very encouraging. And so it was kind of a gutsy jump, I guess. It was a big move for me because it was just a weird situation. And so it ended up turning out for the better. And yeah, I've been coaching for a little over a year. I'm a teacher. It's a good time.
Nice. Yeah, the community and connected piece like is huge, 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 huge. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Cassandra, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I currently work at KBS in Plainview. It's a building supply store. It's like a small Lowe's, basically. I work in the ag department. um, so last September, I joined Beachbody with Candace, and I had like no idea that coaching was even really a thing. And they kept talking about this retreat that they were doing, and I was like, well, that sounds fun. Like, I'm going to be moving back to Minnesota, and like I really wanted to find just not just the same high school friends. There's nothing wrong with them, but it's like I just wanted like a new group of people to connect with. And I was like, this is going to be a great opportunity to just kind of jump in. And even like when I went to the retreat, I had no idea like really that coaching was even a thing still. And like as excited as everyone was, I was just like, well, this is pretty cool. And so, and I think like Candace, you signed me up as a coach, like just so I could kind of go to the retreat, I guess. I don't know. But Yeah, so I feel like in January I kind of started to like do a little more in the coaching and stuff. And then this last month, these last 4 weeks, a few of us girls have been in a 4 week challenge to like do your tracker every day and post it for a week. And I feel like that has just opened my eyes and made me realize like I've not been coaching at all. And like I need to follow the tracker because like I didn't realize how important it was, and it's definitely super important. So, yeah.
And Cassandra's doing all this while having a little toddler and expecting again right now.
Yep.
So anyone can do it. Oh, yes. Anyone watching the replay or now, if you have not like made up a retreat for your team, I couldn't say enough good things about it. Find yourself a
Yeah.
teammate like Brittany, who is great at party planning, and run a retreat, because that one was awesome. I remember that one well, because you were like literally moving back to Minnesota and like coming to the retreat like in the same week. Okay,
Yep. Exactly.
how do you guys manage your days, because obviously you have other jobs and different things and a lot going on? How do you manage that schedule and your coaching life? Like maybe when do you work, how often and how long do you work, and kind of, if that makes sense. Brittany, do you want to
Mhm.
start with that one?
Sure. So I feel like right now my schedule is very unnormal because of COVID and because of school. And I would say that I'm kind of in the same situation where I didn't really start using my tracker until beginning of this year. And I was like, why the heck have I not been doing this the entire time? Like it's there for a reason. And so when I started really using my tracker at the beginning of the year, um, I would try to dedicate definitely an hour a day. I am kind of known for going onto the Beachbody Challenger or the Champions page and just searching for a power hour. I need some guidance. I need direction because I get way too sidetracked. And so I try to find something that's a little more guided, um, while still I'm able to check off my boxes on my um, on the tracker. And usually I try to work early in the morning. With school starting, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing with my scheduling. Um, but usually within the past year, I did a lot of work right after school. So I wasn't working too late into the evening. But just pockets of time, 30 minutes at a time, or even 10 minutes at a time, just moments that I could be on my phone or could be watching Netflix. I try to dedicate to doing something productive, instead of getting me more sidetracked.
That's perfect. Perfect. How about you, Cassandra?
Um, I definitely need to start waking up when my husband does. He drives to the cities every day. So I need to start waking up when he does because I'm just not getting enough time in the morning. And that's really like when I have time. And so today I tried, but wasn't as successful as I'd like to be. But and then throughout the day, just I mean, it was a few weeks ago. I listened to one of the girls speak, and she's like, when you're in the bathroom, you know you have your phone on you. Just add like 20 people at a time, like just throughout the day. So it's like I've been trying to incorporate that, like here and there, just like pull up some names, add them, just to get some of that little stuff done. And then at work, on little breaks here and there, I'm able to like upload my workout videos and stuff like that. And then on lunch, a lot of times I try to show what I'm prepping for dinner and stuff because that's just how it works out throughout the day. But just periodically throughout the day, I'm trying to post or comment or this or that. I'd like to find some time at night for like half hour to get some things in, but like I said, it's just so hard because we do wake up really early and it's yeah, there's just feels like there's not enough time in the day sometimes.
Yeah, I think what both of you are saying though is like small pockets of time and it can be done. So that's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Okay, so maybe let's start with Cassandra this time. What is like your best advice for someone just starting out, someone that's coaching, needs to have like kind of a reboot or a refresh? Like, what's your advice to get them going?
Absolutely do the tracker because, like I said, in the last 4 weeks, it's just like opened my eyes to like, okay, well, this is what I've been supposed to be doing. Like, and I think just like doing that and then just like little conversations, even if it doesn't have to do with Beachbody, even if you like, they tell you straight up, like, no, I don't want to do Beachbody. Like, I've been talking to this girl for Canada for a couple weeks, and it's just like it's nice to practice those conversations, I guess. Like as silly as that sounds, but I don't I don't like talking to people, I guess. And so it's it's just like practicing really. Like and um even like I think like the hardest part is talking to people that you do know or reaching out to people you do know because you're like, oh, they're gonna think I'm weird or like they don't want to be spammed by me. But it's like they're either gonna be really excited that you reached out to them and they do need help, or like just whatever. Like nothing's gonna happen. Nothing bad's gonna happen. You're not gonna die. Like so what? And but at least you've planted that seed that like you're here to help. And then in a few weeks, a month, whatever, you can reach out again. Like even if it's just, hey, how's it going? Like even if they ghosted you before, like reach out again. It's not gonna hurt anything. Like just keep at it. Like I said, you're planting seeds and it's just keep it up.
Yeah.
And I've also noticed too that like with the tracker, you're just being consistent. Like if you're following the tracker, you are being consistent and like other things will start to fall in place. So um yeah, just show everyone that like this is worth it. This is a gift and it's something that you want to share with them.
Perfect. Definitely. All right, go ahead, Brittany.
Definitely do the tracker. Retweet all the way because I just completely underestimated its purpose, which is so dumb. Thinking back now, I'm like, why? Do the tracker. I would do more than what the tracker says to do, but I would do what's comfortable for you if you're increasing how many invites you're sending, maybe how many people you're following up with. Do what works for you in your schedule, but I would challenge you to do a little bit more than what the tracker actually says. I try to definitely send at least 25 invites a day, and I'm wanting to increase that. But I know that if I increase that, I need to increase how many people I'm following and reaching out to. And so it's a slow transition that I'm trying to get into. So do the tracker, increase all of the things. I would also say just look for all the free resources. Like I get on YouTube all the time and I just look for the top coaches. And I listen to their team calls and I will listen to just different speeches that they've shared. And that has been huge for me, especially just with ideas for like how to invite or just how not to be icky, I guess. There's just so many good tips and ideas out there that are just free for us to use. And so I highly encourage you to do that. And then lastly, I would say to just send the invite and don't think twice. Here lately, I've had quite a few ladies who I was like super reluctant to send them an invite. I was very scared. I don't know why. And I would end up getting a message back that said something like, you have no idea how happy I am that you sent this, or I've been so scared to reach out to you. And so I'm so glad you messaged me. And so there's been a lot of moments here lately that have been like that. And it's kind of a refreshing, I don't know, it's just kind of a reassurance that like, yes, you're supposed to be doing this. You're doing this for a reason. People need you. And there's so much good that can come from coaching and just inviting people along the way.
Yes, perfect. Definitely. Hey, Jen, let's let you get in on this call. I kind of introduced you a little bit at the start, but we're just sharing like our best advice for someone who's starting or needs like a reboot. Like, what's your best advice for them to just get going?
Get going. Well, it's taken me forever, but I finally have been reading The Compound Effect. And yesterday I finished it. And one thing, not only being authentic and true to yourself, but the habits, the routines, and being consistent. That is huge for me. It makes me feel comfortable, and I'm not so stressed and feel like I can't get it in and can't get this business done on the side along with being a mom. And I've learned that I can do this and that you just invite and make conversations. Don't be salesy and just talk to people. And at first I didn't send invites as good as I should have. I was nervous, I was scared. Oh man. And now I'm like, yeah, whatever. And that's immensely changed. Like yesterday, a girl reached out that I reached out to, oh, good Lord, back in the fall. And she said, all right, I finally am getting this nutrition down for myself, but I need to add something else. What's this bod all about? So that started our conversation, and yeah. So
Perfect. Yeah. Everything gets easier as you keep doing it, right?
it does. I agree.
Yes. Okay, let's first of all, anyone on this, if you have questions as we go, feel free to shout them out, type them in the chat so that we can ask things too. But what is something, and maybe this goes right along with the best advice, but is there anything that you wish you knew on day one that like now you are like, oh, that's way easier than I thought it was, or oh, like that's what this is about, that you wish you knew on day one of coaching that you did not know but you know now? Is there any like thing that stands out for you? And maybe let's start with do you want to go back to Cassandra? Do you want to go?
Yeah, so Brittany just kind of said this, but like if you treat it like a part-time thing and only put in half the effort, you're only going to get half the results. Like I say, consistency and staying up with the tracker. Also, like people aren't going to just like slide in your DMs and be like, "Oh my gosh, sign me up for like the super mega pack." And like that's just not going to happen. So you have to continue to work through it and to put the effort in. And it's not easy. Like it takes work and time and effort. So
Perfect. Brittany, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I would say to not wait to have all the answers or to have this coaching all figured out, because I'm kind of a perfectionist. And so I think my inner teacher wants to be super prepared and I want to know my stuff. And sometimes you just got to stop overthinking and just kind of go into it with an open mind and go with what you know. And if you're looking for personal development, if you are watching the National Wake Up Calls, you're doing team calls, you're probably up to date. You're probably doing better than what you are giving yourself credit for. And so I would just continue to look for those resources and to engage in those. And you will be well on your way of knowing what you need to know, and always ask questions. I was so scared to ask questions in the beginning because I felt stupid. I didn't want to feel like I didn't know what I was doing. And that doesn't even make sense. So just ask questions, reach out. I text Andrea all the time. I message her. I message other coaches on this team. I ask all the questions because I would rather know than not know and do something wrong or not move my business forward. So definitely ask questions, your stuff, trust yourself.
Yes, I love all that. Jen, how about you?
Something to go along with the best advice / what I wish I knew. You talked a lot, Candace, about it at the beginning, but it took me a good 8 to 9 months to figure it out. Have gratitude and just wake up each morning and be thankful for something before I even get out of bed. And like the compound effect, I think of someone, just give love to someone who's maybe having a hard time, or just a shout out in my own brain. And that also about being patient. You may think it doesn't come right away, but it will. It'll come eventually, and just keep grinding and keep working and being consistent, and it will come. I mean, I had 2 months where I had nothing, and then all of a sudden, boom, a whole bunch. So just be grateful and have gratitude and appreciation for what you're doing and everyone around you, and it'll come.
Definitely, definitely. In the chat, Emily wants to know, are there any activities on the tracker that you guys do first, like that you for sure do first because like maybe they're more important? Everything on there is important and you try not to get to a zero, but is there any that you're like, yep, I don't let myself miss this one hardly ever? Brittany, do you want to start with that one?
Yes. I do inviting. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I do a few different things. Usually first, there's a lot of things I do throughout my day that I don't even think about that are on the tracker. So like your workout, you probably did that at some point. Easy to mark off. It's not like you have to do that if you're doing a power hour or while you're working. Uploading my workout videos, another thing I don't really think about doing anymore. It just happens. I just upload them. But I always try to connect with new followers right away. And that just kind of depends. I listened to a call one time that said your goal should be to get locked out of Instagram following people or whatever platform you use. I sometimes get there, sometimes I don't. But then right after that, I start inviting, because if I don't start inviting right away, I push it way off to the side and it never happens. So definitely inviting just to get it done, get it moving. And then it's nice because some of those conversations will start while I'm doing the rest of my tracker. So I can still engage in conversation with those people while I'm sitting down for a few minutes at a time.
Nice. Jen, how about you?
I'm type A, and I have to follow things the way they're supposed to be. I always start at number 1 and work my way down. But one thing I started to do was definitely inviting from Instagram and Facebook right away in the morning, because one thing I started to do is as soon as they accept me, then I just say, hey, thanks for accepting my friend request. I hope there is something that we can learn and teach from each other in this life. And usually they're all like, hey, yeah, thanks, have a great day, or whatever, just to get the conversation started. And yesterday, I think I had like almost 30 people that I responded to and said, thanks for adding me. So it was kind of something cool. I was like, oh, I got to keep doing that. And definitely, I do not, most importantly, is my accountability group. Now my group's getting kind of big now, so keeping them going and motivating them and responding to them is definitely my number 1. That is my first priority.
Cassandra, how about you?
All right, sorry, I'm trying to deal with the baby, but so I really like that, Jen, that like you reach out right away and just say, hey, how's it going, kind of thing. Like I've tried to do that with Instagram, but now that I'm adding more people on Facebook, I should really be doing that, because that's more of like a personal thing, I feel. But I really just try to like knock out the easiest first, and even if it's just like marking off, like, you know, obviously we upload our videos every day and that's super easy, so it's like just as soon as I get it done, I mark it off. That way, like, it just looks like I'm being productive. And then in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, what's the next thing I need to do? Just marking off those things right away that you've done and that you know you're done with for the day just helps, I feel, like, show you that, hey, I've gotten some stuff done. Let's keep going with this, kind of thing.
Perfect. Okay. And then the last one I have, unless people shout some out or type some more in the chat, how do you feel like you're finding new people that join you? Like, are they all in one spot? Are they people that know you? Is your business on mostly Instagram? Like, how do you find those new people that eventually join? Jen, do you want to start with this one?
Sure. I just, now I'm to the point where I'm kind of filled up my warm community. So now what I do is when it says people that kind of match you or fit in with you, I just asked to follow them on both Facebook and Instagram. So I've added a couple hundred to Facebook lately, which is pretty cool. And I just reached out to them and responded and ask them, like I said, hope we can motivate and inspire each other in some way, shape, or form in this world. And then they kind of just
Nice. So not really using you're not spamming them with an invite to a group immediately,
No.
but you're opening that window of conversation. Cool.
Yep, I say nothing about Beachbody.
Yeah, perfect. Brittany, how about you?
So Instagram is my go-to. I really haven't used Facebook unless I've had some like of my warm market reach out on Facebook that they've been following along with what I've been doing. But for Instagram, at first I started going to like boutiques and like authors and motivational people, and I would just look for people that looked like me or looked like we would have things in common. And usually that was literally just like me scrolling through the pictures and trying to get a general idea if they're my people. But here recently, I feel like those people are gone too often, and so a lot of times I get messages back that are like, I'm already with Beachbody, or I don't know, something saying they're already plugged in somewhere. And so I've started reaching out to my like close friends, because I mean, if my friends are my people, I know that their friends have to be close to my people. And so just kind of expanding that. And that's kind of been cool because I've connected with people that I probably otherwise wouldn't have connected with. But we have mutual friends. So it's kind of a cool kind of inner circle. But yeah, just reaching out to friends of friends, and even just still going back to some of those boutiques and different pages that have my interest. Usually those are kind of my go-to.
Perfect. Yeah, I love that, because then you can say, like, you already have built-in conversation topics, like you know the same person or you love the same boutique, so that I love it. How about you, Cassandra?
Pretty much just Instagram. Like I said, I've started to add people on Facebook here and there. Jen, you're just on fire this morning. I feel like I need to like change some things up, and like I feel like I've gotten decent at about inviting people for like if they're watching my stories, if I have something about my boot camp, I just invite them right away, and it's like I haven't ever reached out to them before, so now I'm starting to think that maybe I should be doing that now.
Yeah, I think a good balance of that is fine. If they're watching your story that you're specifically talking about a boot camp, I feel like that's fair game that you invite them to the group, like, hey, you're watching, do you want to join us? But yeah, conversations too are super important. Okay, last question from Emily, and I love this one. What has been your biggest win so far in your business? So what's for you, what's the biggest win? Does anyone, since that one was not one that we planned, does anyone want to take that one first? Jen, go ahead.
Biggest win is completely getting out of my own head and comfort zone and creating my own accountability group, which is at a little over 40 people now. Having the courage and having the mindset that I can do this has grown immensely since July 15th of last year. So that is one thing that I'm super, super, super stoked about. I feel like I'm the person I've always wanted to be, but it's taken me almost 40 years to get there.
That's awesome. Awesome. Okay. Well, Cassandra, go ahead.
Yeah, like I think just like joining this group and just stepping out, and like I said, I wanted new I don't know, not new friends, but just like different people to surround myself with, and like everyone's so positive, and I know that doesn't really have anything to do with my business necessarily, but I think just, you see constantly the different MLMs and stuff, and you're like, oh gosh, that's just, whatever. But I feel like this is something that you have to put the work in. Like, it's not just a magic quick fix or anything like that. And I just it's something that I believe in and that I just want to share with everyone. So it's just like adding anyone and helping anyone is a win for me. So
That never gets old.
yeah.
Okay, Brittany, go ahead.
I would say for me, it's finally feeling like I have my community. I feel like it takes a little bit I don't even know how to say what I'm trying to say. It takes a little bit to make it feel like a group that is your people and to make it feel like a community. And I feel like people on my team are finally starting to feel comfortable and they're finally starting to feel like this is my place. I belong here. And it's just kind of cool to see people's personalities come out in challenge groups and on our team page. And I think just being very open and being very welcoming kind of helps encourage that. And I don't know, that took me a little bit, I guess, to figure out. And I think it also comes with building your team. The more people you're adding, you get a lot of different personalities added to the team as well. So that's been a huge win for me, just to make it a place that people feel welcome and to see the community finally starting to form and people just really taking off with not only their own fitness, but encouraging other people to join them too now has been really cool.
Perfect. Gosh, awesome. Are there any last questions, anybody? Otherwise, thank you, ladies. This was amazing. I think my biggest takeaways are do your tracker and don't discount the community. Like, yes, we sell workouts and supplements and nutrition plans, but the community that you get with it, that our community has to offer, is priceless. All right. Thank you, ladies. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.